You're tuned in to the Legendary Podcast with Legendary Ron. Make sure to like and subscribe and show love via the Super Thanks and Cash App. Let's go. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's going on? You were tuned in to the Legendary Podcast with your boy, Legendary Ron. But in actuality, I ain't nobody's boy. But you get what I'm saying. Ooh, that man, Legendary Ron. What's going on? Yeah, the topic of tonight, I gotta stay bevved up and refreshed. The topic of tonight is 50 Cent. You know what I mean? Is 50 Cent doing too much? Is 50 Cent Goliath in the urban entertainment field? I can't say music industry because he's beyond music. You understand? Over the years and even at present, down to BMF and all that stuff, Power, man, from music, G Unit, from his solo joints, 50 kept us thoroughly entertained, man. Thoroughly. All the way entertained. And I'm gonna give you my take on a couple things. So, sorry. You know what? I know I'm gonna stay. Got a lot going on my desk. I know I'm gonna stay. I need to take a couple sips the more I talk. Yeah. So, the thing about 50, you understand? The man made his life a movie so you could get some insight to what he been through and all of that. Right? So, yeah, that just happened. So the thing about Fifth is this. Isn't it funny how everybody be like Fifth, like they know him? Yeah, so yeah, Fifth. So the thing about 50 is this. He made his life an open book. And a lot of people can relate to his story. And even people who haven't been through what he's been through. If you had any part of the urban experience, especially for black males, you know what I mean, that got a taste of it, it resonates. Even if you never hustled. You know what I mean? Even if you never sold, that thing. All right, them things. If you never did that, the story, the grind, the survival aspect of it, a lot of us can relate to it. A lot of us can't relate to it, but a lot of us can. And if you're a spiritual person, right, and you look at 50's story, you would tell yourself, to a spiritual person, that would be almost obvious that something is watching over him, right? It could be based on his circumstances when he was younger, he was in God. God kept him in his favor. You understand? Because I don't want to bring up his mother, you know what I mean? But we know the story. He put it out there. So as a child, to be without a mom, right? And, it said that they didn't know who his father was and all that. You are basically a meal for the streets. You are basically food for the streets. These New York streets, pick apart. Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx. Pick apart different parts of the Bronx, different parts of Queens, different parts of Brooklyn. You could get chewed up. And as young black males, we go through, unfortunately, a large percentage of us as young black males and females go through a lost, a lost portion of our lives when we're younger, right? And why he could have got chewed up out there is because, yeah, he had his grandparents, but and his grandfather was full of wisdom, and his grandmother, you know, you could tell. You listen to him speak, she was full of love. You know what I mean? Not saying the grandfather wasn't full of love, but he seemed to be a man's man. You understand what I'm saying? So, a manly man, traditional, structured. But there's always a time gap. Because what's going on in the streets, some certain aspects of the game of survival don't change. But there are certain aspects that do with the generation. So he's being raised by his grandparents. And but the streets that he's being raised in, the streets always got a new variation of the old thing. So that will leave a gap of understanding. So say your mother's around, she's closer to the now, right? Your father's around, he's closer to the now, right? They're closer to how the game of survival has evolved. So they could look out, tell you more, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. If you choose to listen or not listen, that's on you. But 50 didn't have his mother or father after a certain point. He didn't have his mom, right? So grandparents, like I said, there's going to be a gap. So 50 was basically food for the streets. So a lot of the things that you hear about 50 when he was younger, putting hands on people, shaking and moving, we don't know how God looked at that. You know, we don't know how God held the scales for 50, right? So God could have felt sorry for him and looked out for him. Or at the same time, we don't know that man. That man could be worshiping something crazy and getting his protection from somewhere else. But I'm kind of leaning towards the first one, right? But I don't know. Big fan, can't front. You understand? Yeah. See, I don't discredit people. Somebody could do something you don't like, and I may not like that, but I can't take away what they're good at. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody, is a boss, tailor, designer, and they go to a bank and shoot the bank up, God forbid that happens anywhere, right? They are still, that doesn't mean they're not a boss tailor anymore. That they don't make a mean suit. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is this. We don't know how God looked at 50 as a child being out here, trying to survive and not trying to get ate up. You know what I mean? Kids aren't stupid. One thing kids know is survival. Why do you think babies cry? It's survival. It's embedded in our DNA. So anyway, 50 learned to be tactical. You know what I mean? Real early. Tactical. This always wins. But you're going to need some muscle. You know what I mean? Muscle in the form of multiple people, a team, or. You know what I mean? You gotta be solid yourself, you know what I mean? You gotta be nice with whatever and however you choose to defend yourself. To match the tact, and you go a long way. But if you got one without the other, you got tact, and you're physically weak, and you don't know how to use your tact, your tactics you don't know how to be tactful to get a team of muscle, but you only got this, there's a good chance you're gonna get chewed up. Or if you tactical, you're a tactical strategic thinker, and you don't know, you yourself aren't strong physically, you're going to have a problem. You know what I mean? So I'm saying that to say this. He obviously has the favor of something, someone, something in a high place, an entity in a high place. Got to be. I'm telling you, look at this story, right? Look at what he has amassed. Look at what he has attained. You know what I'm saying? Look like it's almost like everything he touches. But here's my thing. Is 50 a bully? Some people think 50 Cent is a bully. Some people understand that he don't bother. That's how some people look at it. Like, he don't bother nobody. But if you mess with him, he got something for you. He got what you're looking for. Guaranteed. Yep. He got what you're looking for. Right? What's his track record? What in O? It's something in O, right? People want him just being his friend if he allows it. You know, as people get older, it's like, you know. So, I'm saying that to say this. I'm going to touch on the whole Irv Gotti thing, which is what this has to do with, you know what I mean? Which is what brought this topic to light for me. So I could bring it to y'all, so we could debate on it, you know. Give me your opinion in the comment section, along with the super chat and super thanks, and, you know, you get what I'm saying. Not the super chat, because it's not alive, but the super thanks, because it's a, you know, pre-recorded video. By the time you see it, you know how it goes. So here's the thing. You know what? We know how life goes, a lot of us over a certain age, and we know what happens to the bully, if he is a bully, right? Because it looks like, a lot of times it looks like no holds barred when 50 get on somebody's case, you know what I mean? But upon further scrutiny, you could say, yo, they poking the bear, you know what I mean? They messing with that man. So I'm saying this. So, Irv Gotti. But before I say that, before I go there, I want to say, the bully. If 50 is genuinely a bully, what usually happens to the bully? As far as rap beefs, hip-hop beefs, internet beefs go, he's reigning supreme. No pun intended. He is the champ. As far as internet beefs, social media beefs, rap beefs, yeah, I think I would say undefeated. You feel me? So let's just say, for conversation's sake, that he's not just doing it based on people picking on him. Let's say 50's a bully, right? For conversation's sake. Yo, what always happens to the bully? There's always some sort of David and Goliath something with a bully. The bully, either the bully just naturally takes an L because nobody wants to F with them, right? Or everybody that the bully has, you know, metaphorically and physically put hands on, gangs up and whoops the bully's ass in the playground, right? Which would be, in this case, media, social media, and if everybody was to turn on the bully at the same time. It hasn't happened, but I'm just saying. And I'm not giving ideas, attempt at y'all own risks. The man is like 5,000 and 0 as far as beefs, like I said. You know what I mean? Boom, moving along. Or it's the scrawny guy on the playground that's just full of rage and gives the bully a run for his money. Sometimes he whoops the bully. The quiet kid. He whoops the bully. Or sometimes he just goes toe-to-toe with the bully and he doesn't win. It's just a good fight. But they look at the size of the bully's body of work and track record, and then they look at this quiet kid, the scrawny kid, that gave the bully a run for his money, and then that tarnishes the bully's name. You understand what I'm saying? And when that tarnishes the bully's name, a lot of people realize, well, yo, I got more size and stuff than the scrawny, quiet kid that gave the bully a run for his money, because the scrawny, scrawny, quiet kid, he had heart. So all I need to do is have some heart and see what I got in me, and and then more and more people start testing the bully. Now the thing is, the bully could still whoop quite a few of them, but it's exhausting. and it depletes the bully's resources mentally and stuff like that. And what that does, it weakens the bully. See, the scrawny kid was full of heart by himself. Heart, rage, all types of stuff. So he tackled the bully. He was trying to hold it in, you know what I mean? And yeah. But you don't have as much heart as the scrawny, quiet kid. But you, with your mediocre level of courage, plus another, and another, and another, and another, everybody feel like they could somewhat take the bully now. Depleting the exhausting, you know, the bully, that's like burnout, right? So, is that going to happen? If 50 Cent is the bully, is he going to fall? And if you feel like he's going to lose his position as the unstoppable, the unstoppable king of internet trolling and internet beefs, urban beefs, right? Beefs within media and all that good stuff. Or not so good stuff, excuse me. Ask yourself, who do you think has the capability to take down a media juggernaut like 50? Right? And now I'm going to touch on the Irv thing. And I got an Irv Gotti story. I haven't heard anyone speak that knew Irv that said something bad about Irv. And I got my own Irv Gotti story. It's not that crazy. You mightn't even find it that amazing. But, you know, certain things speak volumes. My Irv Gotti story is similar to my Akon story. But right now we're talking about Irv, and we're really talking about 50. So, back in the days, in the early 2000s, when people used to wear the crazy long gold chains and, you know, and everybody was talking about platinum, right? Back then you wanted your chain long, so you would have them, you'd buy the long chain, you know, or you would, what the jewelers started persuading people to do, if they didn't have the link you wanted at a certain length, they would sell you a matching bracelet with the same link and size as your chain link, right? So I was buying some jewelry with a homeboy in New York City on Canal Street. Now, I'm saying buying jewelry on Canal Street, you're probably like, but there are a lot of jewelers and jewelry spots on Canal Street where rappers, you go in there, you see popular rappers, A-list rappers and stuff, posing with the jewelers. They got the pictures up. And this is before AI and all of that shady stuff. Actual developed film, you know what I mean? And you see a lot of rappers. There's certain spots where a lot of rappers used to go. So I was up in one of them spots back when people used to wear the ridiculous jewelry. And I was on my rap thing back then, my producer thing and all that. And I was buying jewelry, whatever. And I was there with one of my homeboys. And there was a dude there. A dude, he was emphasizing how long he wanted his chain, and he was buying platinum jewelry. And the lady was telling him, no, we don't have that length right now. And like I told you, the bracelet thing they used to try to persuade you to do. So she was like, yo, just do the bracelet. He was like, but I don't want the bracelet. This and that and the third. And my homeboy was there. My homeboy's looking at the purchase, you know? And the purchase was a hefty purchase because it was like the bracelet with this and that. And it was an Indian cat. Well, he looked Indian, like East Indian. You know, he spoke urban, regular like us, whatever. He didn't have a heavy accent or anything. Not that that has anything to do with it. And he said, so my boy was like, yo, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do? And he's the guy said, he said, I work at a label, record label. And my homeboy was like, okay. He said, yeah, well, my boy, he raps and he produces. He's nasty. He makes beats, all that. And the dude, real calm, cool, down to earth. He said, yeah. He said, give me your number. I'm gonna have my, what you call it, my boss call you. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I ain't think nothing of it. And this is back when house phones and stuff was still a thing. And I gave the dude the house phone number. I was staying with my homeboy, my other homeboy at the time. So by the time we got back to Brooklyn, got up to my homeboy house where I was staying, and his mother, my name's Sharon, but his mother, she always called my name Sean. She said, Sean, some Music Man call here for you. I already forgot about, I was like, Music Man? She said, yeah, he asked for Sean. He asked for, I said, oh, okay, I'm still not, it's not clicking. And then she was like, so I'm on my computer making beats and stuff, because that's what I did a lot. And she came back with the house phone. That's back when you had the house phone with extra long cords. You could drag it to any room, you know what I mean? Take the phone to any room. She came with it and she was like, here. And I was like, hello? And the dude was like, yo, what's up, man? Like he knew me. So I was like, I said, yeah, hello, who's this? He said, can I speak to Sharon? I said, yeah, this Sharon. He said, yo, what's up, man? What you got going on tonight? I was like, yo, who's this? He said, it's Gotti, man. And the voice, I heard the voice and it clicked. And I was like, oh, shit. This is like prime time. You understand what I'm saying? This is prime time Gotti. This is when Murder Inc. was getting hot. You know what I mean? And he was like, yo, what you doing tonight? He's like, yo, my man Cash. I believe that's the name the A&R gave us. Because dude said he was an A&R for label. I don't know if there was an A&R at Murder Inc. named Cash or whatever, if he gave us that name because he didn't really know us in the store, but he did relay my info, right? And so Gotti was like, yo, what you doing tonight? And I was like, oh, shit. You know when you want something and reality hit? I did wind up getting a record deal later on with an independent label. That's a whole other story. Cool dude, me and that dude is still tight to this day. But, yeah, so he was like, Gotti was like, yo, we about to hit a couple spots in the city, man, in Manhattan. We about to hit a couple spots, we're going to be popping some bottles. We're going to be having a good time. You should come hang out with us, right? So in my head, I'm already like picturing the extravaganza, and I ain't want to be that dude, never want to be that. You out with a bunch of dudes who making certain moves and stuff. That's a different level of spending. You understand what I'm saying? I'm at my boy house, crashing with him and his people, you know what I mean? And I said, So guess what I did? So I tried to like front like I had something going on. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, damn, I ain't going to be able to keep up with the big dogs. I'm nice at what I do now. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes you think back at stuff and you have the what if and the regrets and the That's why I think differently now, because there's a lot of opportunities that, some of them I seized and, had a little whatever, had a good time. But that's not one of them that I seized. So I responded to Gotti by saying, let me see what I got going on, because I got a couple moves I got to make. I ain't had no moves. I was going to be right on that computer making beats or chilling with some hood rat or something like that. Anyway, boom. He's like, all right, so let me know, man. Let me know. Call me back. Let me know, because we're going to be moving around the city, man. I want to sit down with you and whatever and chill with you and see where you at with it. And you know what I mean? But he said, but regardless, man, come chill with us. Come have a good. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to let you know. I ain't never called Gotti back, man. But the opportunity, the relatability of how he, you know what I mean? And somebody could say, yeah, well, he was just talking like that, whatever, because that's a formality. He wanted to see what you was about. But everybody that I heard, other than the team, the camp that had a problem with Gotti, you understand what I'm saying? I've heard nothing but good things about Gotti. The same way, I've heard some real good things about 50. You understand? I heard he got a wild side, but we all got a wild side. His wild side may be different to your wild side. Even the most quiet person has some kind of wild side, something they into that other people are like, what? You know? Some people got weird things, weird habits. I'm not saying 50 has weird habits. They said, you know, he tend to be, yeah, you know what I mean? But everybody got some sort of, you know what I mean? Some sort of wild side. You know, I ain't hear no weirdo nothing. I heard you got a wild side. You know, sometimes you see interviews with people on his team. They say you got, you know what I mean? But what I heard about 50 is he liked to help people. What I heard about Gotti is he would help a lot of people, help put a lot of people on, pass a lot of gems. 50 put a lot of people on. 50 passed a lot of gems. So, you know, here's where we're going with it. So when Gotti passed, apparently, I'm going to say allegedly, so y'all could go do your own research. Apparently and allegedly, these are prescription, by the way. You know what I mean? In case y'all think I put these on just to look cool, kind of, sort of. But these are actually seeing glasses from that company that Jamie Foxx was a brand ambassador for. But anyway, boom. 50, when Irv passed, 50 allegedly posted some stuff that seemed a bit insensitive on his, I believe, allegedly Instagram, and so on and so forth. And when I saw what was supposed to be the post from it, I felt like, damn. You know what I mean? I felt like, damn, like, yo. Yeah, I don't know, Fifth. Well, not that I don't know. I was like, yeah, I can't ride with this one. I can't ride with this one. I can't ride with this one. I was like, nah. You lost some points. You lost some points. Right? But then, you know, for the urban record keepers, people would say things like, yo, Irv and them put money on the wood to make sure 50 was up out of here. To make sure that 50 was unalive. You understand what I'm saying? Allegedly. So we got to think. If somebody tried to unalive you, and then y'all went toe-to-toe for years after that, how would you feel with them passing? So for me, because I've had people, God bless and God forbid, I've had people try to unalive me when I was young and lost out here, you understand? And a couple of homies had to set them straight. And I appreciate that to this day. You know? And they wanted to unalive me because I was a fighter. Always a fighter. Metaphorically. And you know what I mean? I'm a lover. I love to help people. I love to make people feel good. I love to pass on information. I love to see everybody living good. I always try to plug people in to an extent. You know, if I see you dragging your feet or you're going against the help, I'm trying to help, I got to fall back. But, you know, I'm always in defense of what's good and what's right. You know what I mean? That don't mean my hands are squeaky. I'm just saying. So, you got to look at it. So for me, if God forbid that was the case and the person passed away, well, for me, the beef is over. But that's for me. Right? You know, I got poked up before, sadly. But they hit that man 9 times. Right? Some say less than 9, some say 9. Listen, 1 will be enough. 1 with the right thing will be enough. 1 in the right spot will be enough. So whether it's 7, 9, 5, 3.5, you know, 3 in a graze, whatever. He knows what he felt. So, but for me personally, after you know, Gotti was gone, it would have been like, all right, we both journeyed out here, we crossed paths in a negative way. You know what I mean? And now your energies with God and being stored. All of the electricity and life force inside of you went back to God, and He got it stored until Judgment Day. So I personally wouldn't have beef after after death. You know what I mean? But if it is true that Gotti tried to take him out, we don't know what he was feeling while that was happening. You understand? So, that being said, my perspective is kind of leaning towards be good to who's good to you, right? And we would never understand what somebody else feels. A lot of times we like to tell people to get over something. Get over, that's spilled milk. That's water under the bridge. And the Bible does say that revenge is the Lord's. Revenge doesn't belong to you. You know what I mean? And I'm by no means trying to go over what God says. But we don't know what somebody is feeling, and we don't know how hard it is for them to get over what they experience in order to, to become one with the Word so that they can abide by it. You know what I mean? But all in all, 50 got a track record. And when people got that type of track record, history has proven that somebody always steps up and puts an end to that. So, whether they got the favor of God and they abuse it, or they got the favor of something else and they're doing too much, or God uses somebody as a tool to humble somebody, it kind of always goes like that. And that's why I titled this joint what I titled it. You understand what I'm saying? That being said, it's that man, Legendary Ron. Alright? I actually got a remote to stop the recording, so I ain't got to be putting my fingers all up in the joint. Let's see how good it works. It's your boy Legendary Ron, and you have just tuned into the Legendary Podcast. And I'm out. Will it work? Let's see. It ain't work. Oh, man. Let's try it again. It's your boy, that man, Legendary Ron. And you were just tuning into the Legendary Podcast.